Mr. Abhisit Vejjjajiva.
Mr. President, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, allow me first of all to welcome all of you who have traveled from abroad to Bangkok and to Thailand. I hope that your time here will not only be productive but also enjoyable. Let me start by saying that if we look at the headlines and the news today, we are truly living in an age of transformation. If you look at the headlines today, you see geopolitical tensions, conflicts, energy crisis, political violence, even continuing challenges posed by global warming. And yet, there is also one phenomenon which is also a driving force and very much transforming our economy and our society. And that is the phenomenon of aging societies. Indeed, for Thailand, we no longer count ourselves as an aging society. We are already an aged society, and soon moving towards a super-aged society. I'm one of those rapidly aging, and now over 60. And of course, this phenomenon is going to continue. Technological advance, particularly in medicine, means that we are most likely going to live longer. And for a number of reasons, socio-economic and otherwise, birth rates continue to decline. On this latter point, my experience and my sharing of experiences with many leaders around the world, it has been very tough to design a public policy to try to increase the birth rate. So we are going to see this continuing aging phenomenon everywhere. China and ASEAN, we're all going to have to go through this. And of course, this phenomenon has raised a number of concerns. First, there is the issue of labor shortage, very much evident in most aged and aging societies, and even bigger concerns down the line about how we will have a big enough workforce or a big enough market of active consumers, as well as concerns about the need to import foreign labor, which in itself brings a number of political and social challenges. There's concern about the rising health expenditures that come with aging societies. And for many countries, that is already a challenge given the unsustainable healthcare system being offered to the public. And of course, there is the issue of the need to have greater savings to ensure that there is enough money for the elderly to have a good quality of life. Unlike many European countries and countries like Japan, the aging phenomenon has come far earlier compared to those countries which had already made themselves advanced in terms of being an upper or high income country. But we're not here today to complain or be pessimistic and think about aging as some kind of burden. There is the other side to the coin. We're not only living longer, but we are also living stronger. So people in their 60s, 70s, 80s can continue to be very productive, which is very much different from the old paradigm of thinking of people above 60 as retirees and inactive people. We're talking about a silver generation that also has considerable purchasing power and therefore gives a significant market and become important contributors to the economy itself. And let's not forget that the advances in technology means that in terms of productivity, in terms of possible economic opportunities, if we go through this transformation wisely, there are a number of upside opportunities available for all of us. And in any case, we shouldn't see this as a separate phenomenon. Most of the economies in Asia, in ASEAN, China included, continue to have to go through a fundamental transformation anyway towards a more sustainable path of development. So, my main message to you today is let's not look at the silver economy as a separate phenomenon, as part of a bigger picture in terms of economic development. Let's see it as an integral part of economic change, of transformation towards a better future where there are going to be opportunities that could be exploited and harvested. And the key to that will be, of course, innovation and cooperation. So I very much commend conferences like this and initiatives that are being undertaken to address that. Allow me to just give you maybe 3-4 examples of the kind of transformation that we are looking at. First of all, I talked already about the challenges concerning workforce or manpower. The key here is that we shouldn't just think about numbers. At the time where I was worrying about an aging society having shortages of labor, we also have big concerns about how artificial intelligence is going to put us all out of job. So we're going through a transformation anyway in terms of how we see the workforce. We're going to go to an age where man and machine will have to work together, not separately, maybe even become even more, even deeper integration in terms of technology and human beings. And at the same time, it also means that the silver generation continue to have contributions to make. But the key, of course, is how we integrate technology and how we reskill and upskill people so that all generations, silver generation included, are able to use technology productively. The second issue I also mentioned, the healthcare expenditures. Again, this is a good opportunity for us to shift the emphasis of healthcare towards prevention and good quality of life, rather than dealing with just diseases and building more and more hospitals. Clearly, for the silver generation and even younger generations, we are already seeing greater awareness of the need to live a healthy lifestyle, which in itself means changes for consumption behavior, changes in terms of what kind of products are going to be demanded in the market. It also means that there will be huge opportunities in terms of the wellness and tourism industry. And here, I think China and Southeast Asia will have many, many opportunities with many locations where centers for wellness and tourism for the silver generation can actually be established. We can also look at the physical side of things, the way our cities, the way our facilities are designed will also have to change to accommodate the silver generation. Again, this brings huge opportunities to many industries and services, and it means that both public and private initiatives will have to be aware of how we need to adapt our environment to be more friendly to the silver generation. It will also mean new products being demanded, new standards of services being demanded, which should be responded to by both the public and private sector. A last example, financial products. The fact that we are living longer means there has to be a change to how people make their financial plans. The issue of insurance, savings, pensions means that there will have to be more innovative ways of financing through our lives. It means likely that the public and private partnership will also be key to how we'll be able to have enough resources to ensure that the silver generation can afford a good life. All of this means that there are going to be opportunities. We just need to be clear in our vision of what kind of transformation we are going through in the different sectors and how they are linked up. And for ASEAN and China, I know when we talk about collaboration, we may just be thinking about size, bigger markets, bigger pool of consumers, bigger pool of producers. But there's more to it than just size. It's also about exploiting complementarities. China has the technology. China is leading in terms of innovation on a number of areas, where at the same time, many Southeast Asian countries, especially Thailand, is ready to welcome the silver generation in terms of offering our services in industries like wellness and tourism, where we have been strong. So it's all about complementarities, collaboration, and networking. And given the diversity of the region, it also means opportunities to create sandboxes or special zones where we could test out some of the ideas of how we would like to set up communities for the silver generation. So, despite what I said right at the start, which might sound pessimistic, I think if we have the right mindset about how we're going through a fundamental transformation anyway, and how the aging phenomenon could be part of that transformation, look at the opportunities, collaborate, create networks, and innovate, I am sure that we will have plenty of opportunities in terms of economic development and also improve our societies. We're not just adding years to our lives, but we'll be adding life to the years that we have. Thank you.